Hi, my name is Jackie Murray, and I'm with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the Structured Learning Technology curriculum for fourth grade. We're on lesson 5, How to Outline in Word Processing. Very important tool, and if you have a unit on study skills, this is a perfect match for that. How to review, how to organize information, how to prepare for an assessment of some sort. Okay, so vocabulary, not a whole lot of different ones, but indent, extent might be, and outline in general definitely might be something you want to talk about. Problem solving, these are the types of problems they'll have, that the outline numbers disappeared, that the outline doesn't work. So when they try to the tools, it doesn't work. So that's why they have the short keys to make it work. And how do they indent with the tab or extent, shift tab. So those types of things. The rest are kind of standard. Find a tool on the ribbon, find an answer to my problem. Yeah, but let me know if you have any trouble with any of those. Outlining is new. Third graders are the first ones to do it. They'll do it a couple more times throughout the 9 grades in the curricula. But these aren't. Word processing, keyboarding, speaking, and listening, those aren't. Okay, the essential question, how do I use technology to organize information efficiently? The more they go through school and the more they need to succeed in life, the more important it is to organize what they know in a manner where they can retrieve it when needed. So outlining does that. Outlining aids understanding and organization of information. Now we focus pretty much on information they're learning in school, but it truly carries over to any type of information they're learning. If they go to a soccer meeting and they hear the rules, they could jot all those rules down in subpoints, and they've created an outline. Okay, don't forget as you're going through your weeks here that you're collecting words for the Speak Like a Geek board presentations, which are coming up about mid-year. So that's an ongoing project. Every time they don't understand a word, you're going to add it to that list. And the rest of these are pretty standard. The assessments are pretty standard. You do want them signed up for the problem solving board coming up. You do want them to show up in class with their science book or whatever book you're outlining from. So you might assess them if they come to class unprepared. Okay, keyboarding home row to warm up as you're getting ready, but they're also preparing for their important keys quiz, which is today. And that is, you have this template. They can work in groups away from the keyboards. They will not get to see what those are, although if you are a really good reader, you can probably read it on this template. And fill as many of these in as they can. It's the baseline. So we'll see whatever they know now, you want them to improve in the future. I usually let them work in groups. It doesn't seem to affect the grade too much, except the kids who wouldn't get anything and then would think they couldn't do it have a team to be part of. So I usually do it that way. All right, so this is the first of several they'll do. You grade it the same way you would the keyboarding quiz, which is why it's the baseline. You're also going to preview the problem solving board, which I think starts next week. So, and you talked about it under the lesson on problem solving. So have them circle back. If they're in their workbooks, they can circle back to that problem solving lesson here and go, okay, yeah, I remember, I wrote that down here. That's my problem, that's my presentation date, yeah, and this is what I'm graded on. So they'll know all that. And okay, so I think that's good. So talk about why outlining. Discuss that. These are some ideas just to get you started, but see what they say. And maybe they don't know, they don't have a clue why they'd want to outline. So you might bring up some authentic reasons why it is important, and tell them where they have seen outlining before and it's been helpful. Now open your word processing program. If you are, depending upon what you have, Chromebooks, you might use this one. iPads, you might use Quick List or Omni Outliner. If you're in a regular laptop, you might use Google Docs or MS Word. Whatever it is fine. OneNote is a good one. Oak workflowy. These are online tools if you don't want to use software. So lots of options. You pick the one that serves your digital devices best. And then that's the one you're going to use. All of the ones listed here set it up exactly like this sort of thing, where it's indented and sub-indented, and you are developing an organized fashion of introducing information. So show them how to do that and make it very quick. You push the outline tool, and then you push tab to indent, you push shift tab to extent, or you use the tools, let's see, or you use these tools to push them if they like tools better than short keys. But that's about as complicated as it gets. And then have them practice by outlining from the book they brought. And they can do this in groups, whatever. When they're done with that, if you have time, have them edit that outline so they can see that, okay, I can't read that. Climates and how they change. World climates. Okay, I put those 5 down, but I've got a 6th one. So they're going to click after desert zone, if I'm reading that right, push enter, and it's going to add F. So have them edit and maybe do that as a group. So they outlined that chapter, now add this item or make this subpoint or that sort of thing. So they can see how easy it is to edit and outline. Truthfully, they may or may not get to that. So it's up to your student group. If this is the first time they're seeing outlines, they may not get to it. Okay, review how to save a file and make sure they save it in the right place, and then you're done. Class exit ticket is put a post-it note with a word they didn't understand that you can use for the Speak Like a Geek coming up. Okay, differentiation. You want to start a problem-solving board to the calendar. So have someone do that, or have someone add the blank keyboard quiz. You probably have one person responsible on a monthly basis for updating the class calendar. So this would be their 2 items that they're going to do there. I think, let's see, I don't think theirs has anything else. They could actually, if you were desperate, they could use this right here as their template. It's a little small, but they could probably use it because of the ABC tool that writes small, and then take a screenshot and share it out with you when they're done. And they have the links here for which of these you want them to use if you'd prefer that. I think that's really about it. All right, guys. Have a great week. Leave me a note on the discussion board if you have questions, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.